TikTok.com. 6'7".
Two of the following videos are true, while the other one is trash. Can you spot the fake?
Huh?
By now you already know that citrus fruits like oranges or lemons contain enough flammable oil called limonene that when you squeeze it on an open flame, it can produce larger flames like this.
Huh? From oranges?
I actually purchased limonene concentrate, which is the same flammable oil in the peel of oranges, and filled up the bottle with that. I even had to spray this pretty lightly to produce semi-believable flames because this stuff is actually way more flammable than it appeared in the first clip.
From oranges? I'm gonna make a flamethrower out of oranges. Okay, so I got a leaf blower. I bought this from some guy for like 15 bucks. The reason is it's annoyingly loud. Jesus fucking Christ. That's an issue. So I'm pretty sure it's just one of the fan blades has just broken off inside. So I'm gonna take it apart and see if I can fix it. Okay, really thought that just pulled off. Am I a bitch? What? Fuck me. Okay. Does this just pull off now? That is not the part I was expecting to pull off. Hey! Okay, I was right. So these two fan blades are completely missing, and that is what's causing the noise. Essentially, things that spin in a circle really fast like to be evenly distributed. Basically, the weight on one side should match the other. It's the same thing as like if you look up a video of people throwing rocks and like bricks in washing machines. It's very destructive. So if I just clip two of the fans on the opposite side of the ones that are already broken, it should even that out, eliminating the vibrations and the noise. Hell yeah, okay. Ow, me. So these were the two that were already off, and then I just tore these two off. So theoretically, we should be fine now. Yeah, now it's just a regular sounding one and it still blows. That's done. Dude, this project may actually go way faster than I thought it was going to. Holy shit, I'm tired. So there's a few potential iterations this is gonna have to go through. Iteration 1 is just putting the liquid into the tube. That's just how I need it to work in the first place. So I need to find a way to modulate how much liquid is being put into the tube at a time. And for that, I got these. So this is just a regular threaded funnel, but this is a ball valve. So based on how much I open this lever, it will determine how much liquid is actually being input into the leaf blower. Truth be told, I don't really know if this is how you're supposed to use a Dremel. I somewhat jerry-rigged it, which is very fitting for me, but. So we're just gonna be careful, okay? I know what I'm doing. Don't do this. I got a little pilot hole started. I'm gonna change out to this bit. This is like a massive, like 1-inch hole. Yes, I used massive and 1 inch in the same sentence. It is, okay? Huh. Wonder if it's any quieter if I do it on this. Just like on the ground. No, not at all, actually. Okay, man. Hell yeah, baby. Dude, that shit is in there like a glove. Okay, so now I need to secure it. I don't 100% know that this is gonna work, but I'm gonna epoxy it in there. Okay, I need to be careful. That's not being careful. Oh God, this smells like shit. All right, so we have this input on there. It's in the hole. We got epoxy all around the base. So I'm just gonna leave this to harden. Then once it hardens, I can put the funnel on top of it and we should be good to go. Hell yeah. All right, so the epoxy is dried. So we have the liquid feeding figured out. Now we just have to figure out how to ignite it. So I'm gonna use a taser, obviously. All right, so now, but I have 2 screws going in the side, and so right there is where the spark will happen. All right, so I gotta yank this off of here. Oh my God, there's still fire extinguisher dust on this. I don't wanna use this battery that came with it, because it's definitely gonna die. LOL. All right, so I got this limit switch. This is gonna be my button to activate the taser. So gray is normally closed, blue is open. Okay, so we're not gonna use gray. Dude, look at my new toy I got. By the way, Merry Christmas. It's Christmas today, so I got myself new toys. So now I need to attach those to this. Basically, I just gotta do a ton of wiring. Okay, I think those are soldered. Why are you smoking? What the fuck? All right, so I got everything wired. I wanna test to see if this whole taser contraption is actually gonna work and cause a spark at the end. So I'm gonna plug it in and I'm gonna just pray. The A, I don't get shocked. B, nothing blows up. C, nothing catches on fire. And D, nothing breaks. Nothing breaking would be good. If this could just work straight up, that would be freaking a Christmas miracle, if you will. Huh. Okay. Okay. I need to turn that off. Okay. It made a noise. Don't know what that was. The gap down here is too big. The distance between these 2 screws might be too big. Okay. It's not sparking. So, at what point does this get like worrying? Like, how do I, let's see. I reach up here. Huh. Okay. So now that we have the flamethrower actually working, I don't officially know if it's gonna work. I'm a little bit worried about airflow. I don't know. It's gonna take some testing. But we can get to why the video is actually titled what it is. And that is turning oranges into a flamethrower. A while ago, I saw a TikTok from a channel named Jaw Dropping Science. Really cool channel. One of the videos he did was talking about limonene and the fact that when it's atomized, it actually becomes a flammable propellant. So that got me thinking, can I make limonene? And then once I make the limonene, put it in a flamethrower, i.e. making oranges into a flamethrower. So then I found an old video by Nile Red where he's basically distilling his own limonene. And so I just followed his setup, remembered back to my chemistry days. And so now I'm gonna distill limonene. I have to grate all of these oranges. This setup I'm about to do is less than ideal. Essentially how this works is I'm going to grate up all the oranges. Once I do that, I'll put it in here. This will go in the pot. In the pot there's gonna be water and then the heat's gonna be on. That water is gonna warm up the mixture inside of here. It's gonna turn into steam, go through this pipe, and then go through the condenser. This piece right here is the condenser. It's going to cool down the steam back into a liquid. And then it's just a matter of collecting it and then separating the water from the oil. It needs to be equal weight, not equal parts. Oh my God, what the fuck? Oh my God, what the fuck? Are we so f***ing for real? I'm gonna f***ing end it, dude. This has to be a joke. I think I just lost all of the shit that I need. Dude, if only I just had a f***ing funnel. This is how you really do chemistry right here. Ow, I just stabbed myself with the blender. There we go. It's a little messy, but have this over here. Okay, I mean, I think that's the setup pretty much. So the water in here is gonna heat up the mixture inside of here. This is gonna turn into steam. It's gonna feed through here, go through this condenser, get cooled down by this water, and then drip out here as a liquid of a mixture of limonene and water. That's how it's supposed to go. Okay, so this didn't work like at all. And when I say at all, I mean literally not a single drop came out. I think the distillate, which is just the mixture of water and orange peel, is not getting hot enough for it to actually boil. So I got some aluminum foil and I'm gonna basically just cover the top of this, and I think that's gonna help trap a lot of that heat. which should help heat up the inside of the flask, producing the steam, condensing it, and outputting. How the f did I do that? Okay. Man, it really just looks like I'm making meth at this point. Wow. Exciting news. I just finished and pulled it off, and I got that much. Yeah. So, not really that good of a yield, if we're being honest. So if you look at the bottom of the puddle there, you kind of see two different puddles as I move it. So that's the limonene making a puddle in the water. Okay, I separated the oil from the water, and then I found this like little spray bottle that they send you with colognes, and I put it in there. And this is how much we've ended up with. All right, so that's how much I got. Honestly, not a bad yield, because I only used like 1 bag of oranges. So now I want to test it. You know, I need to make sure that it's flammable. I only have these little lighters, so I'm gonna use a candle, because I don't really want to like burn my hand. What the f am I doing? Let's see how flammable this actually is. Oh, holy shit. Okay, so I've now distilled the fuel and proved that it worked, which just means I need to make sure that the flamethrower worked. Last time I was having some issues where the taser just wasn't sparking, but essentially I think I had the current too low and the prongs were just too far apart. So I both upped the current and made the prongs closer together. So now it works. This is just getting worrying. Like some of the shit that I do and I come up with is just like, even I can tell it's like a bit much, but also I don't care. So realistically, there's only 2 things left to do. A is to make more limonene, because that tiny little amount isn't gonna be enough for this entire thing. And B is to actually just test it to make sure that everything works and it's going to light on fire. B is easy. B, I just gotta go somewhere, throw the fuel in, turn it on, and try it. A is the tricky part. Making more limonene is gonna be tough because it took a lot of time and an entire bag of oranges for just that little bit. But I've already proved that I can do it. So at this point, it's just a matter of time and resources, which I don't feel like doing either. So I just went online and bought an entire quart of it, which means all that's left to do is to do it. I'm really hoping I don't catch myself on fire. The chances are minimal-ish, but technically there's still a chance. I'm really getting tired of this whole disclaimer thing. Like at this point, if you click on one of my videos, you should just know not to do it. Why is there a helicopter? I wanna see fires. Let's test this. Let's get the boring stuff out of the way first. Disclaimer, do not do what I'm about to do. Do not replicate anything you see in this video, or you could get hurt. I am being safe. I have a fire extinguisher, I have a hose with water, I have a bucket with water. Everything I'm wearing or will be putting on is either flame retardant, flame resistant, 100% cotton so it doesn't melt into my skin, or I can easily take off. Do not replicate anything you are about to see. Now that that's out of the way, first thing I want to do is test to make sure it's actually going to atomize the liquid. So I want to throw water in this. I guess I could like shoot it at a wall. I think that's pretty good, honestly. Like I said, fire safe. Here we go. Sounding like it's not wanting to spark while the air's on. That means the spark gap's too big. That is a decently smaller spark gap. But realistically, I think I'm gonna have to come up with a way to aerosolize rather than just inputting it from the top. Damn. This is, I was hoping was not gonna happen. I thought this was gonna be just a fast video. All right, I wanna rule out that it's aerosolization. So I bought a paint sprayer. So I'm gonna use this to test to see if this works to aerosolize it. Holy shit. Dude. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. I was in such a dog terrible mood. That just made me so much happier. Okay, so it's aerosolization. This gives us a path forward. So I could spend a lot of time and a lot of effort to make the leaf blower just complicated to make like an atomization system so that I could use a leaf blower, but I could also just use this. I think the main part was turning the oranges into limonene, which I already did. The input system was only a little bit of it, And this just works way better. So I'm just gonna take everything that I have on the leaf blower and move it over to this. The only thing I don't know is how I'm gonna do the ignition. I still wanna use the taser. The problem is that on the leaf blower, I have the probes in the middle of the tube. I can't really do that here. So I need like long prongs that will come out and then cause a spark out here, which will light it. And I don't know what I wanna use for that. Wait. No. Oh no. Dude, I'm gonna use forks. Okay, first let's hook everything up to here. Snip. Okay. Except you want to fall like a little... Ooh, I'm getting pissed off. That's probably riveting footage right now. So I tried using the leaf blower and it didn't work, so I transitioned to a paint sprayer. So this is what I have now. All right, let's proceed with the first official test of the paint sprayer flamethrower made from oranges. Hit it. Okay, the forks aren't high enough. It's not igniting it. All right. We're almost there. It is interesting that it's not staying lit. I was only going to use the taser to ignite it the first second and then just expect the flame to keep it going. But it looks like I might need the taser the whole time. That's very interesting. Dude, that went far. Huh. Why? Oh. I'm wondering if the forks are causing the liquid to like combine, making it not aerosolized anymore, meaning that it won't ignite. I'm gonna remove the forks and try a lighter again because I'm wondering the forks are getting in the way. I feel like that worked a little bit better, which is weird because I did this before with the Axe spray. And I guess it was the same thing where it wasn't working outside and then as soon as I went inside it worked. I don't want to burn this inside. All right, we're back for hopefully the final time. So I changed out the tiny little taser component with a high voltage arc generator. Shout out to Noah on YouTube for the comment. So now I have a much stronger spark. All right, hopefully final development. I changed out from this tiny taser component into this high voltage arc generator and strapped that to the side of it. So now we have something a little more powerful. The biggest problem last time is that the tiny little taser, once it has the spray going through it, it can't arc. Going through air, it's fine, but when it has particulates in it, it doesn't like to arc. But now that I have a high-powered arc generator, I'm hoping that that current will be enough to spark across the particulates. It's better, but it's not a constant flame. I feel like when I used a flame last time, it was a very good flame. Oh.
Got it. It is a constant ignition. The flame isn't supporting itself.
The reason I was able to get it the first time is because I had the flame on there the whole time. So, this isn't gonna work. I don't know if I put a segment in here yet explaining the difference between like a continuous ignition versus like a self-propagating ignition. 5-second science. Self-propagating flamethrowers. You only have to light this once and the flame that is already lit will continue to ignite the rest of the flamethrower fuel. Continuous ignition. This is where you have to constantly apply the ignition to the fuel. If you take the ignition away, the flame will die, even if the material is still spraying. So you continuously have to apply an ignition to it to get the flame to continue. But this needs a continuous ignition, and frankly, this arc generator just isn't gonna cut it. Now, I could probably strap like a few more on here or have more prongs or get it to a point where it could, but that's not the point of the video. The point of the video is the oranges. I finished that part. At this point, I just need a flamethrower. So I'm just gonna use a regular like flame ignition. Not that big of a deal. So I bought this butane torch. This is what I was using to prove that it needs like a continuous ignition. And it has a pretty decent flame. So I went to Home Depot and I bought an eye bolt. It came with a nut on it, so I'm gonna take this nut, glue it to the edge of the paint sprayer, and then I'll insert it into the nut so it holds it, so it'll be like this, and then I'm gonna stick Okay, I have a few solutions here, and they're pretty much just changing the placement of this bolt. What the f***? Whose hair is this? This is not my hair. Whose f***ing hair would be stuck in my glasses? I have not talked to a woman in like 3 years. Gotta rough up the plastic so the glue can get a good hold. It is 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and I am sitting here filming myself make a flamethrower. Oh man. Bakudeka slime. Oh my god, I just got so much glue on my hand. This is really high strength corrosive glue. Does it tell you how to get this off? No. Cause serious irritation. Cause skin irritation. Danger. Bonds skin and eyes in seconds. Keep out of reach of children. May cause respiratory irritation. Yeah, this is a great product. I'm so glad I'm using this. All right. We have what should be our final configuration. If this doesn't work, I literally don't know what to do.
All right, I'm sure the audio sounds great. First test with actual ignition. Yeah. Oh my god. So many different iterations. I turned oranges into a flamethrower. We have our friend Bones again. It just seems like he really likes fire. I don't know, I think he enjoyed the first time. Let's put your arms down so it doesn't look like you're surrendering. Okay, let's test it. Huh. I don't think I'm gonna be using Bones for many more experiments. You okay, buddy? My God! Huh. I think it works. Dude, that's how you know I'm old. Holy shit. So I mean, I think I'd call it a success. Yeah, that was a success. It worked a little bit better than I thought it would. Rest in peace, Bones. So yeah, you can turn oranges into a flamethrower. I gotta get a psychiatrist.